commercial break, how Rhett and Hasu have met each other numerous times in the past, playing in Season 1 of the NASL, playing in a couple of Takes tournaments, playing in the TSL Europe qualifier, and Rhett has won basically every meeting.
He's had the leg up.
Yeah, he's dropped one map to Hasu in the 10 times they've met. So it does bode well for him here, as this is a map of huge importance. Rhett wins this, and he can still play in Season 5. If he loses this, then we will be saying goodbye.
Adieu.
And Hasu's initial pylon has me a little bit curious.
Yes, and Hasuobs did pick this map, which is interesting as well. I mean, this is a thing that some Protoss players do. They just kind of like plant the forge in the main base and then expand, and in case they see any kind of early pool, then they just put the cannon back at home and they're really safe. Although they can even just do what Sase does, which is plant the first pylon in the main, then the second, and just delay the Nexus slightly, but they still get a very nice probe count. That way, when you drop the Nexus in the forge, you're still safe against a pool. It's just that you don't get the second expansion as quick, but you get nice saturation.
Hasu's going to go Nexus first, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he can. He can just drop a second pylon too right next to Nexus, and everything's nice. And the only trade-off is that you don't get to really deny the Zerg spaces, but I think Hasu is more than content with letting that happen.
And ironically, Rhett is also playing very greedy. That shouldn't actually be ironic. Rhett always plays greedy. He's gone Hatch first here on Daybreak. And Hasu's not going to go Nexus first. He's going to drop a Forge.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is just a nice variation of sorts. It's nothing too alarming. It's, again, just very safe in case Rhett chose to early pool, which Rhett isn't the player to usually do that. It's just Rhett has done it in the past, and I think Hasuobs is being very safe about it. That's all.
Overlord's going to make its way over to the natural expansion of Hasu, spots the Nexus. Rhett will probably immediately consider sending a drone out for a third base. There goes that drone.
So Ben, this is Daybreak. We've seen this countless amounts of times. Is there any way for Hasuobs to do like that two base push again? Like, I mean, the problem with last time with Alicia was moving up the ramp, but I feel like why would Hasuobs pick a map like Daybreak? What is he planning?
Yeah, I really wonder that
I'm
myself.
so curious.
The answer that I come up with is Hasu's just general mindset and the way he likes to play StarCraft. I think we're going to see him cannon this third base stand. The thing about Hasu is he's always so super comfortable playing macro games, and even if Daybreak is a map where you always go to the late game and where you have to deal with Broodlord and Fester, Hasu has much more confidence playing at the 30-minute mark than he does at the 12-minute mark. So I think this is just a case of him wanting to try and cannon is going down at the third base. Can Rhett do anything about it?
Rhett was pretty greedy. He only made 2 Zerglings. And in fact, wow, even locking in one of the Zerglings with the pylon, this cat tree is in serious danger.
This is such a big investment from Hasu.
Yeah, very big investment. Wow, this is 3 cannons and 2 pylons. That's
Rhett doesn't really care here. He's gonna let these cannons finish before he cancels anything. Hasu's watching it very close. He doesn't want to overinvest either. And boom. Well done, Hasuobs, canceling at the last second.
Well timed by both players.
Very, very nicely done. So with 250 mineral investment, Hasu denies Rhett's initial attempt at a third base. Rhett's just going to go right to the center of Daybreak and try it again, where Hasu very well may try to cannon again.
Yeah, I mean, Rhett shouldn't allow that to happen this time now that he has a good idea of what Hasuobs has planned. Hasuobs has played a little bit more greedy as well. He hasn't really finished any kind of wall off, but realistically there's nothing Rhett can really do in this scenario, and he's getting a +1 weapons really early on. And that's a nice follow-up, because when the hatchery is this far out, you can pressure. I mean, Zerg just has more distance to kind of reinforce and rally. The Queen has to waddle all the way out there if they want to have any hope of defending and injecting. So it's a nice little follow-up, I think.
Yeah, I think that's one way to look at it. The other side of things is when Rhett starts spreading creep from the middle of the map, he's going to get it to Hasu's side of the map even faster than he would have had he taken his natural third base. So he'll have a lot of vision, he'll have a lot of mobility if he gets the time to establish all that stuff. Meanwhile, Rhett is going to go quadruple gas and start his lair. He has no Roach Warren. He has no Evo Chambers. Could be a Mutalist build. I would love to see Rhett play Muta.
We don't really see Muta that often in GVP. And when we do, it's not necessarily on a map like Daybreak, just because it's so comfortable to macro behind it with, you know, like a Roach Infestor build. But, you know what? I mean, no Roach Warren still, just like you said, Ben, and only one Evo Chamber with Zergling speed. I think you're on something. Now, it's really interesting because Hasuobs is going for a quick robo instead of more gateways immediately. How does Muta really relate to this kind of build? It's just going to kind of contain Hasuobs to no end, right?
If that's what we see, it's +1 range attack being researched in the Evo Chamber, though, so Rhett might have plans, or might have different plans. Yep, there's the Roach Warren going down. Still doesn't lock him into Roaches, but it just says that he is investing in that possible future. I don't mind it. I mean, this is kind of the standard. This is the norm. And, well, Spire goes down too, so our initial thoughts were not completely in vain.
No. I do like the availability of all those things, especially since Rhett does have an excess amount of minerals. Now he's starting to gas up at his third, and Hasuobs also dropping a Twilight Council. The way he's making it seem like he's going to take a third as well. Rhett will have to check back later also because he's not sure. But Hasuobs, just like you said, content with playing this passive. Although this is kind of an early third relative to what Rhett is doing. Can Hasuobs kind of hold off and two-point aggression?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Rhett's
gonna be tricky.
Oh, Ling's going to get in right at the perfect moment, and Zergling speed finishing up at a good time as well. A lot of sentries going to get knocked down here, and I think we might even see Hasu losing this third base. Good job using Force Field, though, by Hasu, completely working his units into a corner. Unfortunately, Rhett just continues to stream in with Zerglings, and Force Field is bound to expire eventually. Hasu can use some hold position micro on his Zealous. He does have +1. These Lings have no upgrades, so I think they will ultimately all be doomed to die.
Yeah, but there's just so many Zerglings, and Hasuobs will have to go for another Warp in order to defend anything. More Zealots coming in. Rhett trying to work on the pylon before the Zealots warp in. He doesn't get it, though. Not going to be able to cancel the third, but a couple sentries also nice pick off. Ew, almost being able to get into the natural as well. Rhett doesn't manage to get access yet, but nice trades. Zerglings for gas, always a good exchange.
Hasu doing a really, really nice job recognizing what he's playing against. He has the Robo. He could be building Immortals and taking up the Colossi, but upon seeing those Zerglings says, hey, I suspect Muta. So he immediately starts Blink. That's really, really important. Mutas are coming, though, and I don't know if Blink's going to be ready in time. Cannon's also going down in his mineral lines. Hasu has only seconds before these Mutas show up, and unfortunately, they're going to be just a little bit too early. Definitely going to be taking some damage in the main.
Oh my, the cannon's not even done. Yeah, this is going to do more damage than it really should be able to, but you know, Rhett was preparing this transition for a very nice job, and he even has more Roaches coming in here. He wants to bait a lot of units out from Hasu, and while he controls the map. And it's so cool because now he's going to be able to contain Protoss into the main and natural and put a lot of pressure at the third base. Hasuobs is split like crazy. Zergling's running into the natural, and this is bad news. Congrats. And Hasuobs taps out, making Rhett the winner. 2-0 victory.
Nice.
And secures his spot 3-5.
Very nicely done there by Rhett. Keeps his hopes alive for future North American Star League seasons. And that's really cool when you consider that Season 5 has a high probability of being played on Heart of the Swarm.
That's right, yeah, because Season 5 would be early next year, but by then, hopefully Heart of the Swarm, they said before the midway point, should be released in 2013 very recently.
Of course, nothing official on that. Don't take that as the gospel. The game has to come out first. But
that's right.
My fingers are crossed, and so too should yours be. At Last Game brought to you by EIZO Monitors, eizo.com/NA, where you can learn about and order some of the best performing gaming and production monitors on the planet. We're going to take a break. I do believe we have one final game, Galaxy versus Puma. Zerg versus Terran, our last series of the night, guys.
Or will it? We might just keep casting until the rebroadcast, man.
Keep on rolling with it. We're just gonna roll right through until every game is casted, and then we'll just rebroadcast until the finals start. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Don't go anywhere. SC2 from the NASL will BRB.